Okay, good afternoon and welcome to January's Scrutiny meeting. We'll start with apologies. I've had apologies from Councillors Harper, Prinsley, Catt and Fox. Councillor Sands is here in place of Councillor Harper and Councillor Maguire in place of Councillor Prinsley. So thank you. Item 2, any declarations of interest? Deathly silence. Thank you. Item 3, we've got a series of minutes from the 10th of October meeting, the 12th of December meeting, the 7th of November meeting. And if members don't wish to comment on them, I'll take at the same time the exempt meetings from the extraordinary meeting held on the 7th of November. So is everyone happy to agree all of those minutes? Yep, thank you very much. And without any further ado, we will move on to the We Are Norwich business plan. Mike, did you want to sort of set the scene, and then I think we'll move over to Emma with
yes, so thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. And good evening. Today I'm proud to present the draft We Are Norwich business plan, which represents an ambitious vision for our city's future. Whilst this iteration of the plan reflects what has been agreed over the past year, it is more than just a collection of projects. It is a demonstration of the political leadership and commitment that this council has to deliver real change for the people of Norwich. Over the past year, we've listened to our residents, engaged with partners, and drawn on the guiding principles that underpin all our work. These principles, being ambitious for Norwich, listening to the city, focusing on climate, and putting equality and inclusion at the heart of everything we do, are reflected throughout the plan. As leaders, we are acutely aware of the challenges our city faces. The cost of living crisis, climate change, and economic uncertainty demand decisive action. This plan lays out how we will address these challenges head-on, balancing immediate needs with long-term aspirations. From tackling inequality in our communities to driving forward our net zero ambitions, we are clear about the outcomes we want to achieve and the pathways to get there. As you consider this plan, I encourage you to focus on some key lines of inquiry based on the approach we are taking. For instance, how well does the plan reflect the guiding principles we've established? Are the outcomes clearly defined to enable accountability? Does the balance between flexibility and stability in the proposed approach support effective scrutiny? Do you feel that the engagement from the community-led plan has been thoroughly integrated into the plan? And finally, looking ahead, what additional steps could we take to further strengthen collaboration amongst members, officers and partners to ensure the plan continues to evolve and succeed? Crucially, this plan also reflects our commitment to transparency and accountability. We are transitioning to an outcomes-based framework that will allow us and you to track progress and ensure we are delivering value for the people we serve. We also recognise the importance of collaboration, whether through partnerships with local businesses, community organisations or regional stakeholders. This plan emphasises the shared leadership needed to realise Norwich's potential as a prosperous, fair, climate responsive and future-proof city. I welcome your feedback on this draft and look forward to hearing your ideas on how we can refine our approach to meet the aspirations of our residents and the high standards of accountability that we all strive for. Together, we can ensure this business plan becomes a roadmap for progress, not just for the council, but for our communities across Norwich. Colleagues will now take you through a short presentation before turning to the key lines of inquiry. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And over to Helen. Will you take us through the slide deck?
Yes.
Thanks
Emma
very much.
is going to very kindly drive, and I will do the talking. So thank you very much, Councillor Stannard. So this is a short presentation. It sets out just a bit more information about the business plan that we've presented to you this evening, and also a little bit more information about the outcome-based accountability process that we are going through, and that has partially informed the business plan that we're presenting, but will increasingly do so as we move through that process in future business planning. So that's what we'll cover. Councillor Stannard is. Oh, I'm pressing. Can you move on? Thank you. Councillor Stannard has gone through the sort of suggested, it's a bit slow, key lines of inquiry. If they are useful to you, please do give some consideration to those as we're going through this presentation. I won't go through them in detail as Councillor Stannard has done so already. So just a bit of context, I guess. as Councillor Stannard has said, we're transitioning as an organisation from one that was focused on outputs and the kind of content of previous corporate plans to one that is focused on outcomes. And the key difference being that that's being about really tangible things that people in our city can feel and experience and you know, improve the quality of their lives essentially. So that's a big change, and the community-led plan that we agreed last year was based on those sorts of areas of focus. So the new approach that we're transitioning to is all about that. It's about moving towards outcome-focused work with that real kind of strong emphasis on measuring results and accountability very clearly, and doing that in a more inclusive way, ensuring that there's collaboration with members and officers and partners as we go through that process. And as I say, that's all to reflect what was set out in We Are Norwich. So to be clear about what this business plan is, it is a sort of transitional plan between, you know, the way that we have done things in the past and the way that we are seeking to do things in the future. Because we recognise, I think, that the outcome-based accountability process takes time, and it's quite a hard thing to do. Those of us who've been through it, you know, it's quite tricky, and so we need to make sure that we're giving enough time to our staff and partners and others to really understand it, to make sure we've got the right tools to deliver it appropriately and to roll that out in a sensible way. So that's why this plan is a sort of transitional one, covering the current quarter up to Q1 of 26-27. As I say, partially informed by the outcome-based accountability process. So some elements in here have gone through that process, but not all. And it consolidates the work that's already underway or has already been committed to in terms of delivering against We Are Norwich, to ensure that sort of clarity of focus over the next year as we move ahead with the next stage of the outcome-based accountability process. So, got a couple of slides just with a little bit more information about what the outcome-based accountability process is. Some of you will know this already, so apologies to those of you who do. But just to, lost it. Oh dear.